Hey guys, Susanne here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I'm going to show you my process, so to say my workflow, of painting with acrylics. My favorite flower motifs are sunlit ones with strong lights and shadows. This is the rose I'm going to paint. To not bore you, I kept it simple by cropping a single light pink flower out of this beautiful lit bunch. Here I show you my setup. As I am right-handed, my computer screen as well as my palette box, water and mixing space are located on the right. In terms of color application, I'm in the blocking in or so-called roughing in stage, in which I fill in every area one petal at a time, until rose and background are completed. You can begin wherever you want. My first area is a long round petal in the lower midsection of the painting. In order for the quite long painting time not to be boring for the viewer, the video is sped up 3 times. If necessary, I give voice-over explanations. And the colors I use throughout the painting process are Cadmium Yellow Medium, Translucent Orange, Naphthol Red Light, Quinacridone Red, Permanent Alizarin Crimson, Alizarin Crimson Hue, Permanent Rose, Quinacridone Magenta, Quinacridone Violet, Permanent Violet Dark, Quinacridone Burnt Orange, and Transparent Red Iron Oxide. And of course my 2 whites, Titanium White and Mixing White from Winsor & Newton Professional Acrylics. And now let's start. I can't wait to mix the first colors. I immediately paint every petal as well as every background area around the adjacent edges to have a finished and polished look of the canvas in the end. Though this is an additional working step, canvases with painted edges have a very pleasing appearance and can be hung unframed on every wall. As you can see, for the very light petals, white is the base color, into which I mix the tiniest amount of permanent rose or of the more reddish Quinacridone Red. For slightly more brownish tones in the lightest shadows, I mix some transparent red iron oxide into the blushy pinks. Later, for the darker shadow colors, I add a bit either of the brownish alizarin crimson hue or of the reddish Quinacridone burnt orange. If I want to dull down the pinks quite a bit, I use the most versatile shadow color in my paint box, Quinacridone Violet. If I am not sure of a color bias, I first compare my white mixes to find the right base hue. And after I try to determine a second color which would best push the mix into the right direction.
You may be wondering why I painted these two darker red-pink areas so strong compared with the photo. I love light shadows to be quite white and chalky, and the deep shadows I love painting transparent and of intensive hues. This shadow treatment gives flowers in my eyes a very attractive and three-dimensional appearance. If I have to clear the placement of lines that disappeared during the painting process, I use common chalkboard chalk, in this case in a light reddish color. These lines mix and mingle without traces or residues with the acrylics. Over and over again you see me painting color swatches on scrap pieces of paper and comparing it with the canvas if I'm not really sure of a special nuance. To lighten up deep and dark colors, mixing or zinc white comes into play. This brownish red, for example, which is a base mix of the transparent paints Alizarin Crimson, Naphthol Red Light and Red Iron Oxide, moves out of the shadow into a middle light value towards the left. If I use titanium white to lighten up this mix, it would turn out chalky and change the hue quite a bit, because titanium white adds cool blue to the mixes. The translucent mixing white or zinc white doesn't lighten up as quickly, but it won't change the hue. If I move on further to light areas, I successively mix more of titanium white into the mix, so my middle color values often contain both whites.
So that's it for the moment. Thank you for watching and bearing with me. This is where we are now. And that's the stage to which I'll carry on the flower in part 2, which is in the pipeline. So stay tuned if you want to follow the painting process of a large format flower in acrylics on canvas. See you next time. Happy painting. Bye!